Hi folks, ever have a rifle in a caliber that you love but you're just not really satisfied with the stock? This is a Savage 110. It's chambered in 6.5 by 284, super cool cartridge, kind of the precursor to the 6.5 PRC. Wonderful, it used to be a Wildcat round and I love this rifle. This is a Savage. The 110 action is just known for its accuracy because of this barrel nut system. Savage engineers just really nailed this thing, and this is why every Savage out of the box is really accurate. This one's accurate too. However, this stock, over the years, I don't know what's happened.
What is happening?
It has become sticky from the sun. You can see the dirt is on it right now. My hands are sticky. Now, I don't really get it. I don't know what's happened. Now, Savage rifles are wonderful, but let's face it, their stocks, even though they have an insert making the stock what they call an AccuStock, in functionality, they are wonderful because they're rigid, even though they look pretty cheap. This stock actually happens to have the raised comb, which I love, and on a long-range rifle, I think it's critical and key, and you need a raised comb. But this stock all around just looks cheap, and it just screams lower-end cheap rifle. So, what can you do? Obviously, you can replace the stock. Stocks range anywhere from, for good ones, from several $100 to several thousand, depending on the materials, the exactness of the build, and what they're built of course. Is it carbon fiber? Is it Kevlar? Does it have bedding? Does it have a rigid chassis frame? All of those things go into the cost of making a stock. I go back and forth between, am I a traditionalist? Do I like wood? Usually not, just because when you come into the hunting and shooting realms, synthetic materials are just so much more reliable. They don't warp when they get wet. There's no movement of the wood. They tend to just be more accurate. But there's a certain love affair, romanticism about wood. So I recently found a stock company, weird name, but very interesting company called Woox, W-O-O-X. They sent me one. I'm gonna try it right now. Now, I have never messed with this thing. I just opened the box to see it, but I have not assembled it and put it on my rifle, so I'm gonna do it for the first time live right here, and I'm a little nervous. Things could go wrong. Company reps told me that it would only take, quote, a couple minutes or less to do this. A little bit skeptical. Then again, it's not that hard to drop a stock off from a barreled action. There's only 3 screws, but I want to see how it fits. Anyway, let's take a look at this. What I can tell you already is that this company didn't mess around when it comes to packaging. Like one of my old friends used to say, Johnston, it's not so much about the woman, it's about the packaging around her that makes it attractive. Well, wow, Woox did a good job on packaging. Look at that. Isn't that fancy? I just hope some of this money for packaging isn't going to me. Anyway, there it is. This stock, it's growing on me. At first, I kind of looked at it and like, what is it? RoboCop? Is it old? Is it new? Is it futuristic? Well, it says the future of tradition, and I think that's pretty accurate, not to parrot a company's tagline, but this stock is pretty wild. I noticed it's really well machined. It's got walnut, then you have the M-LOK system rails in there. You've got a fully adjustable cheek pad, adjustable butt pad for length of pull, and then for the height. Pistol grip, really fine laser checkering it looks like. I don't know, the thing looks cool to me. It looks like there's a Picatinny rear for a rear bipod. So here's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to morph my beloved Savage 110 in 6.5 by 284 to the ultra modern Woox stock killing machine rifle. So here we go. This is gonna be in real time. The one thing I did was find the Allen wrench that this rifle takes. So here we go, start the timer in real time, ready, go. Oh, already dropped it. Good thing I'm not in the NASCAR pit crew. So there's one screw, these Savages. Let's see, dropped it again. He's a klutz, folks. Trigger guard out. Okay, that was a little bit trickier. What, I've got to be at a minute or better now. This isn't a race, I just really want an honest assessment of how long this takes. All right, there's the bottom metal, and that's the third screw that came out. So, see, here's the barrel action. Wonderful Ackie trigger here of these Savages. One of the keys to making a rifle accurate. See this stock, it's a good stock because it has that aluminum chassis. So certainly I don't want to lose any of the accuracy here. And if this Woox stock is not as accurate as the old one, it's going back or going in the dumpster. But it's just weird. This stock just looks pretty cheap. So let's try this one. And I'm just hoping and praying that everything aligns here perfectly. It does, you gotta see. I can see it does have the recess for the recoil lug right there. That's a good sign. All right, well that fits in there perfectly right off the bat. So does that. Come on, Wonder Wheel. Sweet. Now, I will use a torque wrench because I have a simple one. Because sometimes these stocks are sensitive. I've got to look at the specs here on Woox and see what they recommend, or see what Savage recommends even. But better yet, sometimes if it's not shooting great, your groups are kind of all over the place. A lot of times it can be because your screws are too tight, or a lot of times too loose. All right, last screw. All right, so there it is. So that took what? I have no idea, probably 3 or 4 minutes, but it's the first time I've ever done it. No power tools. There it is. That's pretty cool. Look at that. So I'm gonna put a bipod on there. This is much more rigid than that old stock. You be the judge on how it looks. It's kind of grown on me, but this is cool on this totally adjustable cheek piece. And the length of pull is perfect for me right there as is. To be consistent at long range, you just have to have a consistent cheek weld. We've proven this time and time again at ultra long range. That certainly does it there. I think I just breathed new life into this old Savage rifle. Now, here's the test though. Here's the litmus test. I know what this Savage shot. It was right under an inch with my ammo of choice. So I'm gonna shoot this thing for 3-shot groups at 100 yards and see if it's equal or below those groups. And so stay tuned for that. But right now, that is pretty badass. Woox stock. Now, the only downside, like all good things and cool things, these things aren't free. This thing is called the Furiosa Ultra. It retails for about $6.99. I will tell you here after I test if it's worth it as far as accuracy, but right now, I really love it. That is cool. I'm Jeff Johnston. That's no BS.